wide range of initiatives, new play development, education, community engagement, and many others. Bari works to engage our area's youth so they want to become involved in theater, they want to be a part of the production, and they want to learn that industry. And it's so important to bring that next generation into it. It's not just the acting either that Bari is teaching. Under her leadership, there is a tech track for teens. I had to practice that, because Bari, that was not the easiest thing to name something. But this is where the teens can learn the technical components of what goes into making a production. It is equally as important to have a great technical production as it is to have a great actor acting in that technical production. Bari has really put her stamp on this community. The quality and depth of productions are amazing. The residents of Bangor, and here I go back to the same thing, the residents of Bangor love going to Penobscot Theatre. They love seeing what new productions are coming out. They love the variety that is happening over there. And when our community is behind the events that are happening here, it is so much easier for the visitor to enjoy and get behind visiting and experiencing these things. Penobscot Theatre is entertaining people from around the nation and around the world when they come to visit. It's pretty spectacular to watch. And so for all that you do, Bari Newport, I want to say thank you for what you have done to support our community and be a part of who we are.
Woo. Working closely with Bari for the last 5 years as a member of the Penobscot Theatre Company's Board of Directors, and have seen firsthand just how much of herself Bari pours into each and every season that the company produces. So I truly believe there is nobody more deserving of this award. So tonight I have the privilege to represent Bangor Savings Bank in presenting the 2019 Individual Achievement Award to Bari Newport.
So we are Penobscot Theatre Company. We're not a place. We're the owners, the proud owners and custodians of the Bangor Opera House, which is the last remaining opera house in Bangor, where there once were between 7 and 9. Bangor was called the Little Broadway of the North. But we are Penobscot Theatre Company, and what makes us unique is that we are a company of artists who, for now 46 years, have produced and presented works that we make for and by handcrafted plays for and by the greater Bangor region. 8.5 years ago, my now husband and I were sitting in our apartment in Pasadena, California, and he got a call from George Kinghorn of the University of Maine Art Museum, asking for Magnus, who's a fantastic photographer and fine art artist, to send in his work. The show at the University of Maine Art Museum was Where Are We At in 21st Century Photography? And Magnus, being a leading American photographer, was asked to be part of this show, which he was really excited about because George had engaged a leading New York City photography curator. And so I sat there in Pasadena and I sent Magnus's art in boxes to Bangor, Maine, and I wrote Bangor, Maine on all these boxes. And then maybe 6 months later, I was working at an enormous theater in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was working on a Stephen King, John Mellencamp play called The Ghost Brothers of Darkland County. And I got a call from my friend Nathan Halverson, who was the interim artistic director of Penobscot Theatre Company. And Nathan and I share a birthday, so every year in New York we would meet and we would celebrate our birthdays together. And Nathan said, I'm going to go back to grad school, and there's an opening at this theater that I work at. And I knew this theater because my parents, who are here tonight, had visited from Atlanta, Georgia. They had randomly come to Moosehead Lake the same summer that Magnus's artwork was being shown at the University of Maine Art Museum. And my parents said, do you know that there's this theater here? And I said, I do, because my friend Nathan Halverson and I met in 2015. Oh no, is that right? Is that right? How long have we been here? We've been here for 7.5 years. We've been here since 2012. So Nathan and I met in 2005 at the Lincoln Center. There's a thing called the Directors Lab. And Nathan and I were the only people who were not living in New York City. Nathan was working at Penobscot Theatre Company, and I was working at a place called Florida Repertory Theatre. And we connected because we really believed in creating and producing professional theater works outside of New York, right? Why shouldn't people in Bangor and Fort Myers, Florida, and Bozeman, Montana, why shouldn't they experience incredible, depthful theatrical work? And so Nathan said this job was becoming available, and I applied, and I flew up here, and the reason I took the job was because I could not believe in all of the theater work that I've done, and all the theaters I've worked in all over the country, big, small, and everything in between. I had never seen an audience react to a theatrical production as I had here. People jumped to their feet, and I'm sure all of you have been to Penobscot Theatre Company, and if you haven't, you should come see me and we'll give you a ticket. You should come, everybody should come, it's your theater, right? It's your theater. I was like, I want to be here. I want to be where people want the work. And so, in 7.5 years, because of my husband, and because of A.J. Mooney, our core company actor, and because of Ben Lehman, a core company actor, and our director of education, and because of Jerry Misler, a core company actor, and Mary Budd, my partner for 5.5 years, who's responsible for the tech track, by the way, and responsible for the redo of the inside of the theater, and is responsible for the scene shop that we own now, our firehouse. Can you believe that a theater did not have a scene shop for almost 40 years? It's because of Mary that we do. It's because of Mary that we have a house for the actors. Do you know that we bring in over 150 artists from around the country every year who love and fall in love with this community? And now my new partner, Catherine Ravenscraft, who is an incredible partner. It's because of all of these people that we are Penobscot Theatre Company. It's because of Coney, it's because of Rob, it's because of Elizabeth, it's because of Katie and Alan Schaefer, it's because of Cheryl and John, it's because of so many of you that I'm here tonight. We are Penobscot Theatre Company, and you are part of that company, and I thank you so much for this, for allowing me to be a part of your community, my adopted home, and for this beautiful award tonight. Thank you.